What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid's down 0.98%, 982 the high, 953 the low. So we did hit almost a new 52-week all-time low. So that's currently sitting at 950. Luckily enough, it did bounce off of a key support level. So I'll kind of go over that in a second. But today, there really hasn't been that much in news associated to Lucid. So no press releases, no SEC filings, no speculative things being posted online. So it is just at the mercy of the broader market for the most part. Today, we did have some data, and in all fairness, it came in pretty solid. So we did have initial jobless claims coming in at 206. Forecast of 229. Of course, that doesn't really justify a rate cut, so that could be one attributing factor why the market's kind of freaking out. But we also did get Philly manufacturing data, and that came in at 16.3, forecast of 7. So no different than the New York data yesterday and a lot of the other manufacturing data points. This shows extreme expansion is occurring in the broader market. But again, inversely, this doesn't justify a rate cut. So there's that, and also a lot of geopolitical issues associated to Iran. So things seem to be kind of escalating a little bit. And when it came down to this week, we have a couple big days for the market. So one was Wednesday, the other one is Friday. Those are for data points. Thursday morning, we did have Walmart earnings. So that has really proven that it can move the market in the past. And unfortunately, they did really fail to give good future guidance. So that is kind of looming over the market as well. So kind of signals that there's a little bit of a bumpiness ahead. The only thing that kind of came out today was a new rating, and that was done by Benchmark. As I've kind of mentioned in the past, I'm not really that big of a fan of Benchmark. I think it's just a B-line firm. And so not really, I think a lot of people just generally don't pay attention to them as much as, let's say, JPM or Bank of America, for instance. But Benchmark did maintain their $30 price target. So given the fact that we are at roughly around 950, give or take, definitely a lot of upside is anticipated. And if Lucid hits a home run earnings, gives good future guidance, then yeah, realistically, I think 30 could be hit and achieved. But moral of the story is that they need to really hit their earnings. Looking at shorts, they're increasing about 66,000 shares today. 34.02% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 44.3 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts are kind of taking advantage and returning over the last several trading days. Not so much today, but they're, again, 66,000 is kind of a drop in the bucket in all fairness. DTC 6.19 days does signal that shorts are relatively overextended. Cost to borrow average hasn't really moved that much, so 21.56. So it's been anywhere from about 17 to about 35% over the last week. So not really much change for that. Looking at the options, we're seeing about 210,000 in calls, 461,000 in puts. So no different than my video yesterday. We're not really seeing that much in crazy volume. 49% of all the options being done, though, today are bearish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 1050. The week of their earnings, not really much hedging or anything going on. I would say that bulls are feeling that between 11 to 1150 is on the table. Bears are anticipating for it to be kind of sub 1050 or even kind of 950 to 10 for this week, and for it to be sub 950 going into next week. Currently, the expected move is going up a little bit from yesterday, so 13.21%, so that's about $1.27 in either direction. So definitely going to be a fairly volatile earnings. One transaction occurring today on the secondary market, it is a buy for 412,000. That was done first thing, but aside from that, there's not really much kind of institutional transactions. Same goes for the dark pool. So matches with shorts not really doing anything whatsoever. No hold numbers, so hedge funds aren't really getting involved with Lucid as far as today, at least at the time of doing this video. But still, it is kind of a quiet day overall. So I feel like people are kind of holding their breath for tomorrow And so tomorrow we do have right over here GDP and PCE before the bell, so that could cause some volatility. So don't be surprised during power hour we might just surprisingly go down, as maybe people want to kind of exit prior to that data. Right now with it at 972, it is trading between this S1 and this S2, so 952 is going to be a strong support, kind of bounced off of that general area, so at least we know that's a good support level, because if that does fail to hold, then regrettably $8.90 is going to be the following support. So that would be a new all-time low for Lucid. So that would be kind of crazy if we are anywhere remotely close to that leading into their earnings. And for those of you that have been in Lucid for a while, yeah, being at the 80-cent mark, that would be kind of scary if you think about it. But flip side, 990 followed by 1051 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. On the actual chart itself, aside from that one new analyst rating, there really hasn't been that much in even news coming out about Lucid. Yesterday I did bring up about Uber, how they're really investing in charging and how that could be a very good positive for Lucid. But aside from that, it's just their earnings, and then also their investor day. That's going to be some pretty good reasons to kind of get in, at least in my opinion. But big money seems to think otherwise. Even based on the money flow, looks like a lot of just institutions are getting out. So not necessarily the best. On the actual chart, really needs to get above that 10-day moving average. So that is currently sitting at $10.20. 50-day moving average is sitting at 11.08. Last time we were above the 50-day moving average was pretty much over here, October the 16th. And so that's generally a very big deal. This time around, the sell-off has been rather extreme. Normally in the past, every time we've gotten either above or below that 50-day moving average, it results in like a 30% swing. So this downtrend has been rather kind of extreme if you think about it. This is a little bit more realistic to expect of what happened in August, where it went from around 23 to like 18, give or take. But this is definitely on a whole nother spectrum. So just to put it in comparison on how much from the most recent peak on October the 6th to where we are now, it has gone down about 60.4%. So hopefully Lucid has some stuff in their back pocket to really kind of incentivize some buying. But what are you doing? Are you buying? Are you selling? I've actually received a couple comments in my last couple videos asking when I am buying Lucid. So I've kind of mentioned this in the past. It was more roughly around when it was at the $14 range. That's when I think I last brought it up. But nothing's really changed. I would rather pay more for Lucid at the, let's say, $12, $14, $15, $16 range if they can actually prove that they can do it. So if they give, let's say, 40, for instance, thousand as a target for 2026, then you know what, that's very impressive. I'd still need a little bit more. I'd want to see a good amount of demand to kind of see that it could actually be hit. But again, I would rather pay more for just more operational kind of milestones being hit rather than right now. I think still very speculative. It's all going to come down to the earnings. So again, if they don't really give that great of future guidance or something, then yeah, regrettably we will be continuing to go down. So that's just my 2 cents. Obviously you guys do whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to get you to buy or sell. So let me know your general thoughts. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.